That'll do. Be a better governor. And Ethelward the General. Yeah, you kicked him in the balls. That was sneaky. What can we give you that sort of rewards that? A bard. We'll give you a bard. We'll have a bard to go singing your tale of mighty Ethelwald and his big steel toe-capped boot. Hamilton Mike, having a nice stream. I'm having a great stream, thanks. Thanks very much for dropping in. And have I tried Frostpunk and Surviving Mars? Haven't tried either of those. Watched a little bit of streaming of them both. Similar sort of games, aren't they? Just set in different... different settings, obviously. I think the Frostpunk one looked a little bit more interesting. A couple of people I watched on Surviving Mars said it was kind of a bit samey, got a bit dull in places, waiting for stuff to build or stock up or whatever. Just what I've heard, though. I haven't actually tried them. Let's have a look at the armies. Alfred. We've got two options here. Fight to the south. Yep, go on. We're doing a quick job of just conquering mass swathes of England at the moment. It's the various little rebel armies. They're not big enough to stand up to me. I can't see if he's going to kick him in the balls or not, so we're going to fight a manual battle for this one. Is chat broke? I hope not. Maybe just gone a little bit quiet. It's getting late, so maybe people are falling asleep under my commentary. Not like last time, or the first time I streamed, when the whole Twitch chat broke and I couldn't work out why no one was talking to me for 30 minutes. That was, yeah, I was sweating a bit during that, thinking I'd broken my own stream or that I'd just done something wrong. Right then, we're off for a fight. It's working, Shockhouse. Cheers, thanks. Always good to know. Alright, fellas. We're going forwards. Oh, there they are. They suddenly appeared out of nowhere. But I'm going to keep an eye on that cavalry this time. I'm going to keep them back. I always forget that the cavalry ride off a little bit too fast. Could dismount them, mount them up later. Speed this up to get them in. No, I never had a 486. I started PCs just after that. It was a mate with a 486 who persuaded me to get them. He was playing like TIE Fighter back in the day. So my first PC was a Pentium 133 and it cost about 1,100 quid. Yeah, times have changed, thankfully. Okay, let's just go for this. Get everyone in. Get in from the rear, run. Cavalry in as well. We've got some spearmen down here. Just swordsmen. Right, go and form a massive wedge. The cavalry can't do anything about that. You guys up there, run in. And my other horsemen. Now you can run. Now we're going for it. Yeah, it was an expensive machine, but it was just the price that they were back then. Long time ago. Pentium 1 MMX 166. I think I finally upgraded that machine to like a Pentium 1233. Could it be? It seemed like a good idea at the time, but it made virtually no difference. It was just because I could, and I managed to find one of those processors reasonably cheap. Oh, come on then. Come on then. Everything, get those. We'll get the horsemen pinned in. Get those horsemen round the rear. Get those guys in. Get in. Looks like that's the end of that fight. This will be the end of this fight once these spearmen get in. Oh, the big axemen. Ooh, these look like beefy dudes. Go on, chop him down. Oh well, that's pretty much that, isn't it? What have we got running now? Oh, look at these guys. Unfortunately, run into 4 blocks of swordsmen. Unlucky son. Get in there. That's got to be it. Let's just speed that up. It's going to finish. Another call. You remember the Windows 95 login sound? I saw a computer today still running Windows 95. I got called in to fix not that one, but one next to it. And the 95 machine still worked really, really good. It's never been on the internet since it was built. It was just used for someone's accounts. So that's what knackers machines, internet, Windows updates, and all the other crap that people download. I think if I ever get involved in a fight between my realm and Northumbria, that'll be a proper fight. But I think we'll have won the game by that point anyway. Yeah, that as well, Viking.
All forces in good order.
Well done, Alfred. You are trashing your way across the Midlands. Okay, who hasn't moved? Supply movement. The Oath Takers. I don't know. I guess I was heading... Oh, I was heading this way, wasn't I? But Oxford's been recaptured, so there's no need to go over there now. Just go there. Just go there. Stay in friendly territory. We'll move next turn.
The men have trained for this.
You think with 10 years to work on it, Microsoft would do better? Microsoft are a strange company. They get... I mean, I can only imagine that all the executives sit round tables with their baseball caps on back to front and go, hey guys, right, I've got this cool idea. The customers are going to love it. And then come out with some weird and wacky thing. They seem so far removed from what the users want that I just don't know where half these ideas come from. They seem to make things that then just screw stuff up for the end user, or are harder to use, or all the knowledge you've built up about computers just goes out the window because the new thing doesn't use any of the same stuff, or it works on a different system. And then they think customers are going to like that. That's the thing I can't understand. There's innovation, and then there's just pissing off customers and changing for no good reason. So they're a strange company, Microsoft. A group of hundreds of warring factions in Microsoft. I can imagine that is the case. I've forgotten where I was going to send these guys. This looks like there's someone to kill. I'll send them to there, and then we'll figure out where they want to go afterwards. Got some cash to spend. We'll go back. I haven't upgraded any of my sort of starting zones for ages. Look at this. I can build Nunnaminster. Is that a nunnery? I get 30 fame. Oh, go on, I'll have some fame. That sounds good. And I think I'm supposed to be building these royal courts and things. And the Cathedral of St. Swithin. Try and get tongue around that. So more fame. So I'll go for a bit of fame in there. And finish. Vista got bad rep in the beginning. It did get bad rep. It just wasn't quite finished properly. It seems to work all right. By the time it got patched and updated, it wasn't too bad. But I think the reputation was done by then. Windows 8, again, works all right, but is just an annoyance for people who were upgrading to it or ended up with it. Windows 10 and the debacle over it getting pushed out onto customers' computers through the update process, even when they didn't want it. That was just a bad way of doing it. Windows 10 is a good system. It's a bit more awkward than Windows 7 for me to fix. But, yeah, it works all right when it works. Okay, so he's going to marry her and lose loyalty. And lose influence, so if I intervene, that's going to upset. I'm just going to give him the blessing. And if it causes trouble, I'll just send him off to fight a war by himself. That's how we deal with troublemakers in Mark's kingdom. So let's have a look. I've forgotten what the plot was. Okay, Edward. He's got a point to spend. He's a general. He's a natural soul. He's mad. This guy's mad. With a world this unpredictable, a little eccentricity isn't necessarily a bad thing, and can even mark the difference between audacious victory and ignominious defeat. Plus 10% charge for all units. I like that. Oh, this is the man to be sending into the front line. I think we need to give him a champion. Make him a proper general. Any love for Linux or Linux, depending on how you prefer to pronounce it? I've used some distros of it. I use it mainly for recovering files off knackered PCs that won't boot up or that hard drives are in trouble on. So it's good for that sort of thing. But I haven't used anything as a sort of a main PC use. I haven't as a desktop. I haven't tried anything like that. To be honest, I still think a lot of it's a little bit too user unfriendly to really go. It could be great. It's just a lot of the distros just aren't quite there. And as soon as you have to resort to the command line interface or whatever, or the console to do stuff, that's when a lot of people just said, nope, walk away. That is the one thing that Windows has pretty much got right for general use. It's pretty user-friendly. For all it's full of problems and other issues. Let's have a look. Get the armies back on.
The men are ready to
There's Alfred. He can go. Did Derby fall? No, it's still mine. Get back to Derby.
To glory we march.
And then you can march back up there. I dare say I can build stuff here, can I? I'll build some town watches. Just to keep people a bit happier. And it's a hunting lodge as well. So those guys. Edward the Oath Taker. Did I figure out what I was doing with this guy? I didn't, did I? Just sort of marching him across country. Put him there. I do have a fella here as well. He was going to Roshbury. I could, well, no, I'll stick him in there. Keeps it simple.
The men have trained for this.
And down here is that enemy miner settlement. Great, I can go and trash that. Get him. Yeah, that's a good thing about that is that it's pretty much virus free. This is a decent sized fight. Let's go and have it. I guess it just depends which distro you're using. I've used a couple that just boot off CD for like just accessing knackered PCs. The odd time having to recover registries and things. So they're really handy for that. Just load up and away you go. It's when you have to start messing too much under the hood that unless you've got a bit of experience in it. I mean, it puts me off. I've tried a couple of things trying to rescue things from hard drives, and as soon as I had to start buggering about with it, I just found other methods of achieving that because it was more awkward than I wanted it to be. Intense fog. We'll wait. Get a nice sunny day. Dry day, that'll do. One of my thoughts on Star Wars and EA and the loot boxes. I thought that was terrible. I thought it was good that they got called out for it and had to backtrack on it a little bit. But I heard something today that they're ploughing ahead with it again in future games, or because they will. They see it as a way of money. It is. Certainly the way that was implemented, it was gambling. But I think because of the attention it got in the media, other countries, or lots of countries, are now getting a little bit wiser to it, and it'll just be hopefully scrutinised a bit better. And of course, if it's as bad as it was before, then the press will just come out. Like Jim Sterling, he's a great guy to watch. If you watch his YouTube channel, He calls people out on all that sort of crap. And he's a bit of a unique character. He's a different, what's the word, presentation style. But yeah, he's a good one for getting all the sort of gaming industry news and gossip and scandal and stuff on. And for calling out companies that pull crap like that. Right, let's speed this up. I haven't actually seen anything of the enemy yet. They must be sitting down that hill somewhere. I could use horses for this job. I've got scouts. Oh, there they are. We've seen them. So I don't know if the rest of the army is going to be... If there's another reinforcing army coming somewhere. Or if I'm walking into a trap slowly. Here we go. Here we go. We've got stuff. There they are. They've got a strong centre. I've got some horses missing somewhere. There they are. Right then. We're in melee range now. Just run. Just run in, boys. There's missile troops. We can't mess about. Archers, shoot at the stuff at the back. Go across country a bit. Get in there. You guys run at the horses. If you can run infantry at the horses and catch them, it's great. And you can still get your horses into the flanks. I'd say Jim is a bit of a acquired taste, I think. Some of his videos are like way over the top, and some of his videos are quite toned down. Yeah, he does sort of change a bit, but he does absolutely call all sorts of rubbish out as he sees it, which is great. Great, that battle's going exactly how I want. This isn't quite going how I want, but get those horsemen in. Oh, just get that in there. Oh, running off. Got to run them down. Get the horsemen beat. It looks like it's another... Excuse me. Looks like it's another wipeout. Just pressed the wrong button there. I've got some horsemen left over here. Run them down. Just run them down. Any horses around here? Go after that. Yeah, Teenage, you're welcome to link me a World of Tank vids. I'll check them out. Send me a PM on... maybe on here, although I don't check the PMs on here that much. It's just something I don't look at. But on Facebook or something like that, I'll take a look. Get into there. We haven't obviously won this one just yet. It's not over yet. Ah, they're running now. Now I'll get the horses in when they're running. Another great victory. A bit of a beatdown. It was a good beatdown. Him charging down the hill. I think if I was to play this again, I'll definitely up the difficulty. I'd like the battles to be a bit tighter, but I'd play a totally different faction. I think one of the Viking Seaxe or something like that, where it's more about raiding, pillaging and building up fame, rather than just controlling land. A lot of the Total War games just evolve down into mass land grabs. It doesn't matter which one you play. And as you get more powerful, you can afford to just steamroll the things, and games get a little bit less interesting that way. Oh, that's good. Editing the video so just for the action parts. That's a good idea, Teenage, especially on World of Tanks stuff. I do that on some replays and some vids. There's bits where I just cut massive sections out the middle of the video. Otherwise, you'd be sat there watching nothing, and they'd be too hard to commentate on as well. Okay, another one bites the dust. We've got this, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Good. Good. Putting down the Gwent Rebellion. We've nearly got it, in fact. Who's left to move? The Wild Hawks could move. There was no particular benefit from sitting in there. Go on then, I'll move them a bit further north. Spent the cash, end the turn. I was going to cut this stream about 10 o'clock tonight, but I have a feeling we're fairly close to a kingdom victory of some sort or other, so I think we'll just play a couple more turns. It is kind of addictive just to get a couple more turns out of. You like the Matilda Black Prince review? Did you like the bit where I cut it out to all the times I got wasted and killed in that damn tank? Because that just happened all the time. And a few people complained about that little cutscene, and I just did it for a joke. But yeah, that was my overall experience. You end up too slow to get to the fight, and then you get wasted when the enemy team just overruns everything. Alright, the Witten's meeting again. I can conscript the peasants, recruit some of the young. My army's fine, I think. Encourage the villages to grow. Well, that might be good. More mills and smithies. Or building communities. Get the peasants building and grow your settlements. Well, let's get the villages to grow. I'm not quite sure what it's going to do.
We will do our utmost.
The wise men meet. +3 supplies. Oh, is that what it does? Alright.